Hello everybody, Mr. John here to help you with the homework activity for next week. Now remember, for the homework activity, I'm going to send you three words from the list that is included in your email. And what you are going to do is try to find those three words in the story, and then you're going to use the dictionary to help you. Now, I want you to try to guess the meaning, but again, you can use the dictionary to help you with the activity. And then from the dictionary in class next week, you're going to help explain those words to us in the class. Now, I'm going to demonstrate here this morning in this video with the word dynasty. Dynasty was the #1 word on the list. It was the most popular word that students chose. Now, first, I'm going to show you the Burlington English article, the story, and then I'm going to show you how to use the dictionary to help you with this word. Okay, so first off, let's go ahead and look at the let's look at the story. So I'm going to bring up the story here on the screen. So let me do that right now. Okay, so here on the screen is page 8 from the Marco Polo story. So this is page 8. If you look down on the bottom there, you'll see 8. But the word dynasty is here, close to the top of the list. In fact, I'll kind of highlight it here. So dynasty is the word that someone chose. Now, let's try first using a little bit of guessing the meaning. So I'm going to use my pen tool. And what I wanted us to do first is I'm going to circle the word here on the screen. Okay, so there it is. And we're going to look at the words before and the words after to see if any of this can help us. Now remember, we said you should look at the sentence first. So I'm going to put little boxes around that part of the sentence to see if any of this information can help us. So for example, if I look at the word immediately before the word dynasty, if you remember, this is what we would call a collocation. So I'm going to put that word here on the screen. If you remember, a collocation is when you have two or more words working together. Okay. Now, if you notice, though, the problem is in this example, the word our dynasty, that particular collocation doesn't really help us. So the question is, what does that mean, our dynasty, if we're thinking about the story? So maybe we need to look before those words. And let's continue to see which other words might help us. I see, for example, something belongs. It belongs to our. So in this case, if something belongs to our, maybe it belongs to us. So something like that might help us. And then I notice it says a gold tablet. Now we know what gold is, right? That's something very nice, very expensive. So this gold tablet belongs to us. Okay, well, that doesn't really help us right now, but at least we're thinking. We're thinking, okay, well, if it's gold, maybe we're rich. Maybe we have lots of money. That might help me in thinking about this word. But again, if I'm reading the story, that may not be enough to help me. So let's talk about how to use the dictionary. And again, how the dictionary sometimes can help and give us examples to help us better understand the word. So now I'm going to switch to, I'm going to clear the screen. And now I'm going to switch to what's called the Learner's Dictionary. Now, I gave you in your email 3 different dictionaries that you can use. I like the Learner's Dictionary the most. I think it's the easiest and the best for us to use in our class. So let's try typing the word dynasty into the Learner's Dictionary, and let's see what information comes up. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that information here. So I'm going to type in the word dynasty. Let's see what happens. Okay, and then I'll click on search. Now you see it's there available. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about how the online dictionary can help you. For example, if you notice, I can listen to the word. So in this case, let's see if it'll let me play the sound. So let's see. Okay, let me make sure I click on this time. I'll click on share computer sound. So hopefully you could hear the word.
Dynasty.
Okay, so dynasty, dynasty.
Dynasty.
So hopefully you can hear that. And again, if you go back to the story just for a moment, you probably didn't hear it the first time, but I'll click on that sentence again.
This gold tablet belongs to our dynasty, he explained.
Okay, so hopefully you could hear it that time. Now, in the dictionary, let's take a look. Now, the dictionary will tell us lots of information. For example, if you notice, it says that dynasty is a noun. You try that, noun. Okay, now, do you remember what a noun is? Well, you might remember that a noun is a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. So what I like to usually tell students is a noun, to help you understand a noun, is something you can talk about. So for example, I can talk about my water bottle, right? See, there's my water bottle. I can talk about my phone. I can talk about my dog. I can talk about my wife. These are all examples of nouns. So in this case, let's see what kind of noun a dynasty is. So if I notice here, it says a family of rulers. So it's a family. So notice in the story, it says our dynasty. So our family. But notice it says a family of rulers who rule over a country for a long period of time. What do you think a long period of time might be? 2 years? 10 years? Maybe 100 years? Yeah, it's probably a long, long period of time. Now, the nice thing about the Learner's Dictionary, I'm going to zoom out just for a little bit. So let's see, let me switch there. Okay. So one of the nice things about the Learner's Dictionary is that, I don't know if I can move that. Is that often they will give us examples. So again, there's the that first definition, and notice it is a countable noun. So we can have dynasty and dynasties, right? So there it is. Okay, so there's dynasties, and notice when we use the Y, we change it to I-E-S. But notice it says it's a family of rulers, right? Okay, so let's look at an example here. A dynasty that ruled China. Now China, that's the country I think we're learning about in our story, for over 300 years. Wow, 300 years. So in this case, dynasties are very long, okay? Notice it says also the period of time when a particular dynasty is in power. So for example, if we're talking about this particular period of time, like this particular group of or members of the family, they might call that time a dynasty too, okay? Now, again, when we're using the dictionary, most of the time we're looking at the first definitions. So again, in thinking about the story, it said our dynasty, which means it is a noun, and we're probably using it in the first definition. Now, if I look at definition number 2, let's take a look at definition number 2. It says a family, team, etc., that is very powerful or successful for a long period of time. Now, notice in these examples, they mention a political dynasty, right? She was born into a political dynasty. Or the next one, a baseball dynasty. Now, and let's be honest, in sports, they're probably not going to be, dynasties for 100 years, maybe 2 years, 3 years, maybe 5, maybe longer. Well, in this case, in the story, do you think we're talking about baseball? Probably not. And we're probably not even talking about political dynasties. I think we're probably talking about definition number 1. So it's a family of rulers who were there for a long time. Now, what you are going to do in class next week is you're going to take these 3 words and you're going to share these words with us in the class. You're going to tell us the definition, and my advice is use your words. words to explain it. Now, the Learner's Dictionary is usually pretty easy to use, but there are lots of other dictionaries that I'm going to suggest. But when using it, maybe use the example too. So like a dynasty in China for 300 years. Maybe share that information with us too. Now, let's look at one more dictionary just to finish this video. So this was the Learner's Dictionary. And again, I like the Learner's Dictionary a lot. Another dictionary I like is the Collins Dictionary. So that was the other dictionary that I gave you in your email. So this is the Collins. We call this a co-build dictionary. A co-build. A co-build dictionary is when often they use the word in the definition. So let's type in dynasty and let's take a look. Okay, so again, I'll zoom in so we can see it a little better. Okay. Now, if you notice in this example, maybe one more time. In this example, the word dynasty is in the definition. So let's take a look. So once again, we can see that the dynasty, right, is a noun. We can make it plural. So it's dynasties, for example. And again, looking at definition number 1, they say here a dynasty is a series of rulers of a country who all belong to the same family. So notice that definition is maybe a little different from the Learner's Dictionary, but it belongs to the same family, so probably a long time. And then again, notice the example here. The Seljuk dynasty of Syria was founded in 1094. And one of the nice things about the Collins Dictionary is they often give us synonyms. Everyone, you practice that, synonyms. You may know that synonyms are similar words. So these are words that are often similar in meaning. So for example, look at some of the words they use here. Empire. Now they use empire in the story too. House. Now not your house or my house, but house, thinking about the house of the family. Rule. Okay, that's another one. Here's a French word that we use in English, regime. Regime. So if you speak French, you might know this word too, regime. Okay. Now, if you look at number 2 and number 3 on the list, it gives us a little more information, a little bit different from the other dictionary. A dynasty is a period during which a country is ruled by the members of the same family. So we mentioned period of time. So often we might refer to a specific dynasty. For example, some of you might know in China there was the Ming dynasty. And then notice number 3, it says a dynasty is a family, 2 or more generations. So this is probably like the baseball dynasty or political dynasty. Maybe not as long as a family. But again, notice the example says this is a family-owned company. The current president is the 4th in this dynasty. Wow. So again, this company's been around a long time, probably not 200 years or 300 years. So again, what I want to show you is for homework, I want you to take those 3 words and maybe look at the different dictionaries that I've given you and see if you can figure out see if you can understand how you can share these words with us next week, because you are going to help us learn these words and you're going to kind of teach them to us. So that's exciting, right? You guys get to be the teachers next week. Maybe I'll take a break. Maybe I'll take a short vacation. No, of course. Okay. Okay, so once again, for homework, I'll send you those 3 words. Use those dictionaries, look at the definitions, look at the examples, and then next week you're going to share that information with us. Okay? All right, well, guys, good luck, and we'll see you next week.